I'm Dave once again with Operation Eagle's Wings, honoring all who served and leaving no one behind. And it's a beautiful day in Madras, Oregon today. We're here at the air show of the Cascades, a chance for all of us to enjoy some aerobatic flying and also have a chance to see up close and personal some of the historic aircraft of the United States. And we have two displays here. We have a B-17 right behind us. And with me also is Jim Martin. And we also have a B-25, which we'll be talking about in just a moment, which is just off to our left. And just glad to be here. Jim, thanks for being with us today on the Eagle.
You're welcome.
So let's talk about the B-17. This is called Sentimental Journey. What's this all about?
The B-17 was restored and started flying in 1978, and it didn't see any combat, but it was built in 1944, and by the time they got the crew trained and got to Europe, why, the war was over. So it did some work for the Army Air Corps. It mapped the ocean for a while, did several things like that, and then it was sold as a fire bomber, and it was a fire bomber for a lot of years, maybe close to 20 years. And then it was purchased by the Confederate Commemorative Air Force. Used to be Confederate Air Force, and about 2000 we had to change our name to Commemorative Air Force. And so basically it's been flying people and making tours ever since.
So the B-17, as far as the model of the airplane, I know this one didn't see any specific combat duty, but how instrumental was the B-17 in World War II?
The B-17 was a mainstay in Europe especially. They had a lot of B-24 Liberators, but the B-17 was a groundwork. And it did high altitude, long range bombing in the Nazi parts of Europe. And
so the job of the Commemorative Air Force is to take these vintage airplanes and fly. Do you fly around the world or just around the country?
No, just in the United States. They used to take it to some of the little countries around, but we don't do that anymore.
It's expensive to fly these?
This one here burns 200 gallons of fuel an hour, and at $6 a gallon, it's fairly expensive, and that's just the fuel. You know, you figure wear and tear, and you got to buy parts. Insurance is a big thing. Insurance is very expensive. All the crews are volunteers. We don't get paid. Even the pilots, nobody gets paid.
Why do you do it?
Because we love it. Yep, we just love to do it. You have to, or you wouldn't do it, because it's just once in a lifetime thing for me. I did it in the service, and I just wanted to do it.
Now, it's an important part. Like this young man, this little kid right here is probably 4 or 5 years old. Important to tell the next generation what happened in World War II and to be able to have them touch and feel a part of history.
That's exactly right. You'd be surprised how many little kids, or even kids in the 5th and 6th grade, you ask them if they know what Pearl Harbor was, and they don't even know. And so this is a good instrument to educate them on that and tell them what it was like, show them what it was like.
What kind of questions do people ask?
Well, people ask a lot of questions are good. What's the top speed? How big are the engines? How much fuel does it take? And a lot of good questions. How many bombs will it carry? How big was the crew? And just many good questions. How high will it go? And lots of good questions. But you get some questions that's kind of hilarious too, that like, how did you get it here? And it really flies, and people don't understand something.
What is this going to be doing in the air show? Is it going to be doing any maneuvers?
Yes, we're going to be doing a flyover in the air show, and I think we're going to go over and they're going to where they're going to explode the line of fire, and we'll be going up about 3 o'clock, I think, is the time when we go.
Now, did you serve during World War II?
Not during World War II. I went in the Air Force in 1954 when I was 17, and got out in 58. And so, I served in the Philippines and Okinawa and Formosa.
So do you get personal satisfaction by telling young people, young and old alike, about the history, World War II, this airplane?
Absolutely. It's a personal thing with me, and I think people need to know what happened, what their ancestors went through to make them free.
Amen. Talking to Jim Martin, he is with the flight crew of B-25. You used to, I guess, work with the B-17s.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Thank you for your service to your country, Jim.
You're welcome.
I'm Dave Adams, Operation Eagle's Wings, honoring all who served and leaving no one behind.